My Movie Recollection.
You
With
forgot what the
Vincent
name was.
Cloud.
Scott Allwood.
Yeah, we're here to talk about movies, Scott. Give me let's go with 14.
You're picking like I have movies from all over the place, and you keep picking ones from early
Let me get
2000s.
no. Okay, I didn't see it.
I keep doing
I
that.
didn't see it. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's common. What does it start with?
S, and it's part of a series as well.
Scream?
It is not
Wait, how many words?
one, but
Scream. No.
you're right.
Yeah.
No.
I just had to believe it. That was the test.
You just had to believe in yourself.
S, one word, part of a series. Did
You're on the right track.
Shawshank
Redemption 6. You're right.
one word? Oh man. Okay, anyone in it that I might know that might help?
No.
How do you know? You don't know who I know. Fuck you.
If you know who this person is, it's going to give it away.
That's fine.
Tobin Bell.
That who? Tobin Bell?
Yeah.
Who's that? I don't
Well,
know that.
apparently you don't care for this series as much as I do. It was very important to me growing up as a teenager in the mid 2000s.
Wow, I'm drawing a blank, man. Any
You were on the right
other
track with Scream.
Shriek? Shriek if you know what I did last
Maybe
Halloween?
same genre.
I don't know. Any other
I didn't see, but I
heard?
saw.
Saw? Oh, Saw. All right, I've never seen any of the Saws.
Really?
I've seen a bit of the first one, but that's it. And I've kind of tried to avoid them. But yeah.
Why? Scared.
Because I'm not a fucking I'm not into what is it called? Torture porn or whatever.
Don't call it that. People only call it that when they haven't seen it.
I'm sure it's not, and it sounds like it's pretty inventive and stuff like that. But which Saw though? Which one?
That's up to you to guess.
I don't care. Saw
It's,
4?
it is. It is Saw 4.
It means nothing to me.
Saw 4, baby.
Oh, the head in the little weighing bucket. Yeah. Okay. Well, where does oh shit, should I describe the movie, Scott? Um
Yeah, what do you
some
think happens in this movie?
some sick fucker goes to a theater and likes to watch. Oh wait, no, that's the that's the fans. Um No, I don't fucking judge. I don't give a shit. It's just not my personal thing. Aren't all the movies the same? Like Jigsaw captures people and he's like, you're terrible, so you gotta do
Play
this.
this game.
Admire my sophistication and the concepts of the torture device, right?
You dead on. Dead on. Because
We didn't
most of
have
them died.
we didn't have the rights to Final Destination, so we were like, let's get more creative deaths this way.
Well, that's basically the movie. And there isn't much to say about it if you don't know anything about it.
Well,
But
describe your favorite kill trap or whatever.
this movie had a detective that disappeared in the past movie. His one of his partners is going through these clues and finding people in traps and trying to help them finish the traps and save them or get them out of the trap. So this one guy is in this hotel room and he's tied up to this contraption where he has to pull these levers and poke his own eyes out because he has been spying on everybody in the hotel. So he'll like take pictures of them while they're staying and this and that. So Jigsaw wants him to poke his own eyes out to show that he's not going to be able to do that stuff anymore, and he's going to remove the sins, I don't know, of his past by not committing them anymore or being able to, and show that he wants to live. And then he doesn't do it in time. Spoiler alert. And his limbs are all ripped off his body, and it kills him.
Oh,
He
shit.
does get one eye poked, and he's a big fat guy. It's like typical sweaty wife beater. I'm a sick fuck kind of dude. And yeah, so that was one of the more interesting.
Was this character played by Brendan Fraser?
Yeah, good old. There's the whale. Whale of a man.
They're like, you have to use a harpoon like in Friday the 13th. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that was Saw 4. For all you Saw heads out there, we meet by the dumpster over here every Friday night to discuss. No, I every year me and my buddy would go watch the new one, and it was always kind of just fun how they would expand on the universe and the traps and whatnot.
It was every year, wasn't it? Like for a solid, what? How many are there now?
It was 7 years in a row, pretty much. Yeah.
Wow.
And then Paranormal Activity came out during the 5th or 6th one and kind of took over the Halloween. So then Saw started to do less box office numbers, and they gave up. And now we've had a few reboots, and there's going to be a Saw 10 here soon. So I'm very excited about it.
Oh, wow. Where does Saw 4 stack up in your rotating blades?
Well, 5, 7, 8, all dog poopy. 2 is my favorite. 6 is my second favorite. I really like Spiral. That was the 9th one.
Chris Rock.
Then 1, then 4. So it's down there, but above about 3 or 4 of them. So midway.
Okay. Spiral. That's Chris Rock, right?
Yeah.
What was his torture device? Telling jokes at the Oscars and then getting slapped by Will Smith.
You bastard.
I dare you to make a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith. Jada Pinkett Smith. I can't do his voice. I can't. I don't know. All right, moving on.
Moving on to D7.
Oh. Okay.
Why am I choosing the worst numbers and letters?
3-word title.
I watched this show with you and others, and they're like, Men in Black. Yeah, let's talk about that. That sounds fun. We all know the movie. I get being there. Get the hell out of here.
I love
You're giving me all the hard ones.
No. Actually, I'm pretty sure you will get this. 3-word title starting with D's nuts. I mean, D.
Dog Day Afternoon.
I admire that. That's a good try. It's not that though. Thomas Jane.
I don't know a lot of his movies.
Samuel L. Jackson.
3 words?
Yep. Starts with D.
Deep Blue Sea.
Very good, Scott. Very good.
Oh, yeah.
I think I rented this. Yeah, I didn't see it in theaters. I don't believe so. And if I did, shame on me. But no, what'd you feel about this movie, man?
I think I've seen it once and I enjoyed it. I can't tell you anything about it though. So why don't you remind us all what the movie Deep Blue Sea is all about?
They're in basically Sea Lab 2021. But they've created like these genetically altered super sharks. And the graphics, I think they're okay. They're kind of wibbly wobbly. You're just like, it looked good right there, but you're like, take it easy. But I think this movie really just is iconic for the Samuel L. Jackson death scene. Do you remember that?
Is it when he's standing there and he's like, "We're gonna get this all done," and then and just shark comes up and eats the hell out of him?
Yes, very well. Like in terms of like surprise deaths, cameo, whatever. Like that was pretty good. Like modern day, I was like, oh shit, because he's like, I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes. Oh wait, wrong movie. I'm sorry.
Tired of these motherfucking sharks underneath this water.
Yeah. LL Cool J. This was when he was in movies
I was
for a little
thinking that
bit.
he was in that, yeah.
Yeah.
Because then he ends up being one of the survivors at the end, doesn't he?
Yes. Thus upending that classic cliche of the black man dies first.
Always.
Yeah.
I mean, first.
Actually, you've heard that, right? Like where they're like, oh, it's mutated though. People say the black man always dies. I'm like, no, it's the black man always dies first. Fuck. Now I'm confused.
It was definitely the black man always dies first. That's where it originated.
And then they were like, the black man always dies. Fuck. Well, I remember like Leviathan and shit like that were like examples that weren't necessarily correct. I don't know. I don't know why we get into this. The movie, I don't even think the movie like warrants that much of a discussion. It was fine. It was a popcorn movie in 1999, I believe. It's just, yeah. And then the lead actress, I don't even remember her name. I just know that she, for some reason, at the very end, she had to take off all her clothes and stand on them because she had to shock the shark to survive or something like that. And even raging hormone riddled Vince was like, this is so like, it's so obvious. Like I could have thought of a better way to get her naked than this. I don't know. Again,
you know what I just realized? This whole time I'm looking at you in this background and I'm like, oh, he's got this liquid metal type, thing going on behind him. And I'm just realizing that it's just raindrops into a puddle or.
And isn't that.
I don't know, but yeah, I thought it was some kind of, it reminded me of Terminator 2, the T-1000, like that liquid whatever. And I'm like, man, that's dope. And now I'm like, raindrops, this is stupid as hell.
I could look outside and see that, man. I want to see
boo your background. No, it still looks good.
But it does tie. It's not that deep. It's a shallow puddle, but deep blue sea, man. Let's go with my favorite number of all time. 7. Actually, it's 69, bro.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Let me guess it. Right. Guess, please.
Well, I'm a little bummed because there are a lot of movies that I wanted to talk about that you did not get.
We're not done. It's fine.
At all.
Oh, we technically
are. Two words. Starts with R.
2 words starts with R. Run Chicken, the prequel to Chicken Run.
You got it.
What year? Do you know year?
It is 2000.
2000. Oh shit! I need something else. I'm not getting anything.
It has Sean William Scott.
Oh, Road Trip. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Road Trip.
Road Trip.
It's such a perfect movie, and they were all these raunchy comedies when I was a teenager, and I'm sad that they're not around anymore because they were so fun and just ridiculous. And this has Breckenmeyer, Tom Green, DJ, what is his name?
Qualls, I think.
Yeah.
Or Squalls, whatever, something like that.
But Todd Phillips before the Hangover craze made
really? I didn't know that. Oh,
It's just such a you believe they're friends. It's just like kind of fun watching them on this road trip and getting all these shenanigans. We got cameos from people like Andy Dick and uh I think Horatio Sands is the diner person, the cook.
hmm.
And
I
he brings
remember
out
parts.
French toast for one of them. And they're like, "Oh, actually, can I get this without something?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I got you. Let me go take care of that." And he just flips it into his like sweatpants and puts it in his butt. This is the humor that needs to be brought back today, people. And then serves it to him, and he's like, "Oh, it's really good, thank you."
That's right. Okay, I remember that. I do remember that. That's awesome. Tom Green
Yeah, he
as the
just has like
friend.
a yeah. He's watching the snake, and he's like wanting the snake to eat the mouse, and that's pretty much his side plot.
Yeah, it's
Like, we
crazy
need to get
because
Tom Green in the movie. Let's have him watching a snake, and he really wants the snake to eat the mouse.
yeah, because he doesn't go on the trip. He's like, no, I'm going to stay here.
Yeah,
It is a bizarre choice, but at the same time, I remember he was so huge. Like there was a lot of friends of mine that were, fans. Yeah. So I mean, I wasn't against it either, but it was a weird decision to have him stay and not go on the trip because like he could have hung out. He could have had a lot more scenes with Sean William Scott and stuff like that.
I do think it worked for the best because four people in the car, they all had like good chemistry with each other, and Tom Green's too much of a wild card to be in the mix of
Yeah.
those personalities. So it makes sense, but yeah,
Um. So what was the big thing? Breckenmeyer
what?
had the girlfriend, right?
Yeah, he had a girlfriend that went to a different college, like in Texas, let's say, and he accidentally mailed a videotape that had him with what Amy Smart, I think is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
girl,
yeah.
and she's naked on top of him, and I think they had sex and recorded it, and he accidentally mailed that tape to her. So he was trying to get there before the tape made it to her, and hilarity ensues. Nothing like a good old movie about cheating on your girlfriend and trying to stop her from finding out. That's our protagonist. That's the guy we're rooting for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shit. You consider this. This is basically what American Pie on the road, though. In American Pie, what did Jim do? He fucking recorded what's her name, Nadia, and broadcasted over the internet or whatever, right? So, like, this is just something that we didn't know was horrendous to do nowadays, or maybe we did, and it was always horrendous. But yeah,
It's just crazy how much it's played for laughs. I remember laughing watching it as a
me too.
kid,
Yeah.
being like, "This is crazy." He's running back and forth so he can watch her.
So yeah, road trip. Do it. Take one.
If you don't like road trip, then you've never been on one, so you don't get it.
Should we move on?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Scott. Choose.
Let's go with. I'm looking around my DVDs to see a letter pop out at me. Like, which one of these movies has a letter that I want to choose? R4.
R4. Okay. Oh, all right. 3-word title.
Run,
Um,
run, Ronnie, run.
Run, chicken, run. Um, lots of CG, lots of computer graphics in this movie.
Hmm. Again,
Um,
I haven't seen a lot of R movies, I guess, now that I can't think of one.
it's a slight hint. Simon Pegg.
Um,
No, this isn't gonna work.
I'm trying to because his. Oh man.
It's a bit part. It's a small part, so that's why
Oh,
it's
okay.
barely gonna help.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a bigger one, and this should send it off. Spielberg.
Uh. Oh yeah, Spielberg. Those
Um,
are movies that he does.
Video games, 80s. Wow, is there a chance that Mr. 2000s and up has never seen
I don't know.
Ready Player One?
Oh, that makes it all. It all comes together and makes sense now. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? CG Spielberg?
Well, what'd you think of it? Did you like it? Or did you feel like how I felt, where I'm like, so this is what movies are now? We just reference shit all the time?
That's exactly what I was gonna say. My buddy really liked it, and then I watched it and was just felt bored, and then there were just references to things, and I was like, oh, okay, that's not necessary, but kind of cool. I didn't care for it. Isn't he like poor and he has this crazy gaming machine?
Well, I think, yeah,
I
I
don't
mean that
that
doesn't.
made me hate it alone. I was poor and didn't have cool gaming machines.
Yeah. Well,
Then
he
what is
well
this? What actually happened in this movie? I pretty much
well the concept is that this game is available to everyone. That is the main thing. Like there was a eccentric creator and he made this and everyone uses it for everything apparently, like school, work, like it's all virtual through this thing. I think it's called Oasis. But he dies, and then he leaves like the key to his company is in three challenges, and those challenges are a mystery and shit like that. So it really just boils down to that, and it's all 80s nostalgia, or yeah, nostalgia. um like the first one is The Race. You remember
isn't
that?
like the okay. 'Cause I was remembering a race and then like he just drives the other way or something instead of
Backwards.
yeah. Instead of going forward, he goes "Zzz," and you win.
Which apparently is a classic way to kind of cheese the game, to sort of mess with the game and win that way. It's like a glitch or something, right? So that's fun. The second one is you're in the movie The Shining. That's crazy. Do you remember that? That was kind of that wasn't that bad. Again, it's just like shit. It's just references to things that already exist. But it was kind of interesting for them to be like in the hotel, and you're getting that creepy vibe of being in the Shining hotel. You're like, have you seen The Shining, Scott?
I have. I'm wondering if I didn't stop watching the movie after that first one then, because I don't
Really?
recollect that at all.
Wrong. Oh wait, no, that's the right one. Um, what was the third task? I don't even remember. I think they just have to play like I don't even know. I don't know. For me, it's like, okay, cool. Initially, you're seeing all the like, oh, there's Chucky and there's the Iron Giant. But after a while, you're like, that's all I'm doing. It's just I'm just name dropping or something. I don't know. I really felt nothing. And this might be controversial. I'm not really into Spielberg stuff post Schindler's List. I feel like he was changed by that event or something. I just feel like his movies aren't quite up to the magic as they used to be. And I
I
don't like how he lights his movies anymore.
hmm,
They're very like nuclear white, very drab. I don't know.
I'll tell you a movie of his that I did enjoy, and it starred my boy Tommy Cruise.
Oh,
War of
right.
the
Yeah, you would. Yeah. Okay. I could see that. I could see that.
But yeah, anytime I'm like, oh, cool, let me see what he has coming out, and then it's like oh, the Fablemans, Abraham Lincoln movie, or just shit that I'm like, I don't want to watch this. I wish it was more fun like back in the day in the 80s and 90s. Or I guess maybe not always fun because Schindler's List isn't.
Well, that is what
Really
I'm saying. Like he changed after that, right? It wasn't okay. So this is telling. So he made Schindler's List and Jurassic Park. They both came out the same year or something like that, or he made them in the same year. But his manager or his agent was like, he's like, make Jurassic Park first, and then do Schindler's List, because he told him, he's like, Steven, you're not going to be able to go back and make Jurassic Park, like that. He called it, and it's totally true. Holy shit! Did you watch The Lost World? That it's drained of color. It's like, yeah, it's Spielberg changed after fucking Schindler's List, man. Yeah.
All right. The War of the Worlds, right?
I enjoyed that, but again, there's something.
Minority Report too, right? That's a great movie,
I'll
Vince.
I like some stuff. I'll have to probably rewatch that, but I had some bias against Colin Farrell. I don't know. It's yeah. I'm a really weird movie critic when it comes down to it. But
I don't like Luke Wilson. Like he destroys the movie for me. I don't know what it is about him, but I just don't like him, and I don't like him as the lead character. I like Idiocracy less because he's the main character. I love my judge. But I'm like, I wish you would have got anyone else because I cannot stand this guy as the main person.
what does that got to do with Spielberg?
Well, because you don't like Colin Farrell.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. No,
So I
well,
get it.
well, Luke Wilson. I'm curious if anyone considers him anything really. Like, I don't
Everyone
get that.
feels that way, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, I think the majority might be like, well, he was the brother of Owen. And we're like, yeah, but judge him without that. And they're like, oh, don't ask us
Kind
to
of
do
boring
that.
to watch.
Yeah. I don't get that either, dude. Actually, he was perfectly cast as the lead of Idiocracy because the whole point of him, of that character, is for him to be mundane. He's not that smart. He really isn't. But he's smarter.
Anyone else in that role,
right?
playing the same thing, and I would like them. Whoever
Yeah.
it is.
Ready Player One. Ready Player One, though. Anything good come out of it? Do you remember anything? You were like, this isn't that bad. I like this. No,
I didn't like it. It was boring.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something positive. I'm not really coming up with anything. Again, was it cool to see Chucky show up and like in the same screen as blah blah blah? Yeah. But eventually you're just like, okay, then blah 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 is interacting with this guy. Like, okay, what am I looking at? So yeah. Moving on. 1 through 18, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Give me 2. Hitman.
All right. This is a 3-worded movie. I guess it technically starts with a T.
Okay. All right. What does the second word start with then? Because I imagine it's the
T.
The T.
T. No.
So the first word
Are
isn't
you asking
the
second letter of the first word or the second letter of the second word? Or wait, the first letter of the second word?
Is the first word the? I guess that's all I
No.
Okay. All right. True Lies, but no.
It's more of a recent movie within the past.
Well, that's what you are, Scott. It's all, like I said, you're 2000s and
movies.
up.
Past 6 years. Yeah, well, if you would have chose some of the other numbers, we would have been in the 80s. We would have been in the 90s.
Sure, we would have. Okay.
I almost just went ahead and picked a different movie because I wanted to talk about it. But no, I'm sitting here talking about this one, which I like it, but
what's the can I get an actor, director?
An actor, I can't ever remember her name, but it's oh, well, one of the main people are John Goodman.
Wow.
He hasn't
Okay.
had too many roles where they've been big recently. 2016.
Is it the is Mary Elizabeth Winston in
He
it?
sure is.
Whatever that movie's called, I don't
And what
remember.
is he called?
It's called the wait, no. Cloverfield something Cloverfield, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. What it was it called? I never watched it, by the way.
10 Cloverfield.
10. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right.
It's such a good movie.
Let me guess what it's about. Actually, I've watched reviews. I don't really watch movies anymore. I just watch reviews of them. Yeah, she's like, "Oh my God, is it the apocalypse?" And John Goodman is like, "Well, it is." And here's my wife Roseanne. No. Um, and he's like, "You're clearly out of your element. You want a toe? I can get you a toe." Now I'm just quoting Big Lebowski, but yeah, there's like, are there creatures? Is there not? John Goodman is like some sort of fanatic, but he's right. There are creatures. She escapes. She finds out there's creatures. That's all I know.
That's pretty much it. And I think it would have, because what happened with this movie is that there was a movie that they ended up turning into a Cloverfield sequel. So I feel like it wouldn't have got as much recognition. I probably would have never seen it had it not been turned into a Cloverfield movie, but I feel it would have worked better as not a Cloverfield movie because let's say it ended before, like right as she ran out, and then you don't get the answer of if there's actually stuff going on or if there isn't. It would have been such a mind fuck that you would be thinking about it at all times. Like, oh man, I wonder what happened. Like, was he right? Was he wrong? Because it's such a good suspenseful drama thriller until that point. And it's fun to kind of see that there are aliens and he was right and whatever, and see her running away from him and all that action. But the majority of that movie is just a fun watch of her and this other guy down there trying to figure out if the dude's just psycho or if he's actually trying to help.
Awesome. And I could only imagine John Goodman gives a great performance. I mean, that guy's awesome, right? Yeah.
Like he's so good at playing lovable, and when he's mean, he's mean. And you're like, fuck, I don't want to fuck with him.
That sounds awesome. Sounds good. Um, okay, the who directed this?
Good question.
Because I think this person directed Prey, which I really enjoyed.
Dan Trachtenberg.
Oh shit!
I do want to see Prey though. I haven't watched it yet.
I think that's
I
the same
rewatched
guy.
Predator recently.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, Predators, like, it's not even a movie; it's gospel at this point, right? Um,
Did you say it's gospel?
you don't go to church, young man. Going straight to hell. Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I like. Yeah, this is one of the movies I kind of regret not watching. Mostly it stems from my dislike of J.J. Abrams. I don't like the guy.
I think I recall you saying that.
Yeah. J.J. Abrams could just
I
fuck
really
himself.
liked him when Lost came out. So I was a big fan of him. I went and saw his Mission Impossible 3, loved it, Tommy Cruise fan. Watched his next movie. I was really excited about it. It was not what I was expecting, but it was still fine. And then he got wrapped up in Star Trek and Star Wars and kind of lost what I enjoyed about him because of these big productions.
Where does 10 Cloverfield Lane fit with stack up against Cloverfield?
It want to beat it. Cloverfield, I love. I was obsessed with it when saw in theaters. I loved handheld footage movies. People were like, "Oh, it's so making me dizzy." I'm like, "No, it's one of the more realistic, I feel, found footage movies. And it kind of, the way it plays with taping over the tape that was on there before. I've had that happen on my tapes to where you see little
Yeah.
clips of the past. I thought that was a lot of fun. And there's, of course, things you can't get around that you have to like. These people want to have the camera on right now, or
We're about to die.
right. So you have to get like use your disbelief. What is that? What it's you have to.
Although Scott, you and I are egotistical enough, and we do operate cameras, we probably would be like, "Oh my god, I'm dying! Make sure the lighting's just right."
Hold on. Oh, what is this rock doing here? Hold on, guys. Ugh. All right, now I can.
Well, but I guess that makes sense. I mean, this wasn't meant to be a sequel to that. It was just kind of thrown on there as a promotional idea. Yeah.
And it worked. It did pretty decently at the box office, and I think that was just because it was also a decent movie. The Paradox Cloverfield is trash. I think that's what.
Right.
It's disappointing.
Well, that also wasn't meant to be a Cloverfield thing either. Yeah. All right, man.
Let's see. Let's go with M3.
One word title. M. Older. This is an older movie, young man.
Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it.
Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. I want to say 70s.
Is it anyone in there that I know?
I'm curious if you will get this with this Woody Allen.
Manhattan?
Nice. Are you a fan? Are you a Woody Allen dude?
I have a Woody Allen movie here in my collection.
Oh, that's sweet, man. Manhattan, we both saw it then. I think that's one of the greatest openings of all time with the George Gershwin sound, Rhapsody in Blue, I think it's called. Something like that.
God, I wish I had.
Where he's like, chapter 1, Manhattan is full of, you know what I mean? But he keeps on like rewriting, and I just love how it's shot. The whole movie is black and white, shot by Godfather's cinematographer. I can't remember his name right now, Gordon Willis. And this is Woody Allen in his heyday, like at his prime. He just made Annie Hall, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah,
because that was 78 or 77.
Annie Hall was 77 for sure.
He won the Oscar for that.
Yeah. Now, Woody Allen, though, who I love, his work, but then again, his fucking work kind of reflects what he was about with the 17-year-old girlfriend.
I think I remember reading an interview with some woman claiming that this movie was written about her, and he would, like, she was young and she would be like the extra in a group of people that Woody was with, or his girlfriend at the time, and they would all have threesomes and stuff. And it was a pretty wild read, that interview. But yeah, then like, you watch this movie and you're like, oh fuck, like, it's like he has such a humor to him, but then you have to think beyond closed doors. It's this weird, like, he's not the character. He's way more confident. He's way more like, yo, I got an Oscar, motherfucker. I make a movie every year.
Yes. What was it?
That was something it might have been 70.
Exactly. 77 to like 2020, something like that. Every year, written, directed, produced.
And even if some of the movies were similar, young girl, older guy, it was still impressive that he was pulling off that feat every year, and sometimes usually with big name actors, actresses. Like, how does one do that unless they're just fucking good at writing? And he is.
Yes. But Manhattan itself, Gosh, I don't know.
Who was the Muriel Hemingway, something like that? Is that her
Yes,
name?
yes.
I remember liking the movie. I used to have I was collecting every single one of his movies, and then one day I like all this stuff was coming out even more, and then I kind of just tossed a bunch of them, and I just happened to have a few left over. But and I'm really mad because I can separate artists from art, but at the moment I was just like, ah, no, fuck him.
Right. Yeah, yeah,
This
exactly,
was one of
man.
those movies that I tossed. Uh, I did enjoy it though, because even though it's like this young chick, he knows how to write, you know, characters that are into each other, and there's always sweet moments. And
Of course, we have Diane Keaton as the woman that he eventually leaves her for, or yeah, but then wants back or whatever. But Diane Keaton is always a treat. I will call her that, a treat in Woody Allen movies. I do enjoy her every time. Um, I the ending always lives with me when he's like on the couch and he's like, well, what makes life worth living or what's enjoyable or whatever, and he just names favorite actors, music and shit like that. And yeah, like if I was on the couch, I'm like, what makes life worth living? I probably would say Woody Allen. Like he, it's crazy how disgusted I am with his private life, but like his work, I absolutely need. I feel like, yeah.
I, yeah, like man, like watching, like falling into like his movies. I don't even remember what the first one I watched, but what is it called? Sleeper? Like I watched that because I was like, oh, let me check out this one. And I was just like, dude, this is so funny and clever and unique. And yeah, I'm a fan of his movies.
Manhattan, let's do it again. Where does the stack? Is it up there?
I only watched it once and it was one and done. So it wasn't something that I felt the need to revisit like I have others of his movies. So I would say it's probably midway because there are some that are more drama that I just am not as into. Um, who was his wife there for a
Which
while,
one?
where she was kind of starring in each movie in the 80s.
Again, which one? Okay. Oh, Mia Farrow. I think she was
Yeah,
the
I
80s.
wasn't a big fan of her.
Yeah, me
So
neither. Me neither.
those movies started drifting more towards her. And in the mid 90s, I felt like he came back like swinging, and I was loving all that stuff in there. But
I loved it when he moved to across the ocean. And he wrote Midnight in Paris and Match Point and
I think that might have been the movie that got me into it, was because I was like, I like Owen Wilson, I'll go check this out. And it was fun and I liked it.
yeah,
And then
thank God. Thank God it wasn't that other Wilson brother. He would have ruined that
if
fucking
he
thing.
cast Luke, I would have never bothered with him again.
Oh wow. Okay, so this was supposed to be about Manhattan, but really this was a nice cleanser of just talking about Woody Allen. Yeah, I didn't
Right?
realize I needed this. Well, in terms of Manhattan, though, I do put it up there. I do enjoy it a lot.
Okay.
In fact, I have a book with 4 screenplays in it, and one of them is Manhattan, and that's why I bought it.
Oh, that's
I think it's
cool.
like, yeah, I think it's like Annie Hall, Manhattan, Stardust Memories, and Interiors. Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, this was great, Scott. Holy shit.
Nice seeing you again, man.
Yeah, let's wrap the show up. Like, subscribe, comment.
Yeah, it was great. Let's wrap this up. Bye.
I got shit to
Click.
do. All right. Like, subscribe, comment. This was my movie recollection with Vincent Cloud.
And Scott Owen.
Ah!
Oh no.
That's some what's his name shit. Who's that guy? Kelly from Friday the 13th or Saw. Choose whatever. All right, let's cut up.